honestly, that's I think where it fell off the tracks a little bit. Like $400 cheaper, trying to see, okay, what is our family already doing? What are the rhythms of our life? And how do I make goals and plans according to those pre-established rhythms? I think it's safe to say that goals and I, we have a pretty strained relationship. Started off really great. I was really someone who loved getting all the goal workbooks, just like really going all in, having my coffee, the candle lit, January 1st, ready to go, monthly, weekly, daily goals. Right out of college, that was kind of the era that I was in. And then I had kids, and then I had 2 kids. It really just felt like goals were not fun anymore. It was just trying to get through breakfast, lunch, dinner. I didn't really have any long-term, like what do I want to do in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. It all very much felt monotonous, the same. And so goals were just frustrating at that point. It felt like I really hit a point of burnout then because it didn't matter as much. I was just trying to feed, bathe, clothe the children, repeat the next day. Now that my kids are 8 and 4, I'm a little bit out of that younger kid stage, and I'm also having a little bit of a career change, and so that has really sparked a new interest in having some goals. Along with having a YouTube channel, it really has brought some goals and like wanting to set some goals back into my life. In full transparency, we're also coming out of a pretty hard year in 2025. So 2026, especially January, I felt this really new rhythm energy. So if you haven't already watched it, you can go back and watch my January 2026 goals video. I'm just gonna do a little bit of a check-in today and see how we are measuring up. Maybe I am the same person because this is my notebook and my tea, so some things don't change. I think when I approached this year, something that was different is that I'm 34, and so I've lived a few years. I know that not every year is going to go exactly the same way. You don't really know what life has in store for that year, and that can really affect me as a planner, someone who likes to have goals. It really would throw me when things would just happen that weren't part of the plan and would throw off my goals. I used to get really frustrated by that. But 34, I know that it's going to change, and I have a choice to either be frustrated by that or to grow and adapt. And some of my goals may not get accomplished. Some of the goals may look different. And I think embracing the unknowns of the year has really helped me make goals and not be as frustrated by them when maybe they don't quite go as planned, which you'll see that not every goal I set has gone anywhere close to plan, but some of them have, and some of them came out of nowhere. So let's get into it. One thing I do that really helps me when I'm goal setting is to break up the whole year into 5. I think the technical term is quintiles. I don't love that word, but it is how it's broken up. Instead of 4 quarters of the year, kind of like you would in a financial job or a corporate job, I break it up into 5 quintiles, and that's what really works for our family. I'm not trying to fit our family into another mold. I'm trying to see, okay, what is our family already doing? What are the rhythms of our life? And how do I make goals and plans according to those pre-established rhythms? It's really helped, again, make it less frustrating for me, not trying to squeeze something into a format that just doesn't fit for our lives. So the 5 quintiles are winter, which for us is like January 1st until spring break. Really, a lot of it follows my son's school calendar. That's a large chunk of it because that is just a natural division in our family life. Quintile 1 was from January 1st until like middle of March. The second quintile is spring, which is spring break until school gets out for summer in May. Third quintile is summer, which is all of summer break. So from the time school gets out until the time school starts in August, that is our third part of the year. Things look different in the summer than they do in the school year. Our fourth quintile is fall, which is the start of school, first day of school until October 31st. Halloween. That's just the fall season for us. And then the 5th quintile is from November 1st through December 31st. And that is the holiday quintile because I've noticed around October, November, it's just a different season, especially if you have kids that are in school. It just feels different going through those last few months of the year. You just have a different energy. And so I like that this lets us break that up into a way that makes a lot of sense for us. All right, let's dive into January through March of this year. The number one thing that we did was a financial goal. We were completely debt-free starting in January, which was a huge goal for our family. Like I said, 2025 was a rough year. And so starting off 2026 with that huge win was just great. During this section of time, I really prioritized getting back into a workout rhythm. I think a lot of that comes from that new year energy, and that sometimes you just have to go with that because it does help to have that momentum. And my big thing was to make these little habits that just felt like a normal part of my day. I'm not a person who can work out for 30, 45 minutes and that be part of my everyday or even every week routine. I know that when I'm consistent, it's always in these 10, 15 minute increments, even like a couple times during the day, or if I get to it once, I really feel success in those little wins when it comes to working out. And I honestly had a really good rhythm with that to January through March. Through those months, I really was working out consistently, either walking, doing Pilates, just very things that were a part of my daily life. And I always feel my best when I am doing that. I was even adding some weight training in there, and I just felt really good and strong. And then we'll get to what happened in the other quintiles, but it wasn't so great. And the final goal that I completed in this first part of the year was that I painted our laundry room, which is one of those household projects that has been on our list for a while, and I got that done. In the cold winter months, I think it's always best to find those things that fit the right time, and for that, the project needed just a winter weekend where we didn't have plans and we were not going to be outside. Easy to knock out then. Okay, second quintile, spring. So this is from spring break until the end of school of this year. And I was really consistent again with working out. I was still working out every day, even if it was small. I was eating more fruits and veggies. We were getting outside, doing all the things. Two personal goals that I accomplished in this section of time were that we got family photos taken. We hadn't had family photos done since my youngest, who's now 4, she was like 6 months old, the last family photos. So we got those on the calendar. I ended up just having a friend. We like swapped. I took her family photos with an iPhone and she took ours with an iPhone, and they are not as great quality as professional photographs, but they are significantly cheaper, as in like $400 cheaper than hiring a photographer. Maybe one day we will do the creamy, dreamy, beautiful lighting photos again, but for this year and this time of life, it felt good that we have them to remember, and they're hanging on our walls, and it just was much less stressful too. I mean, it's just very low pressure when you're just going to a field with a friend and snapping some photos. I'm happy that we got that done. I also have been working on backing up our family home videos, and maybe I should do a longer video on how I do this because I think home videos are so special. I love watching my home videos from my childhood back, and so I really want that to be something that my kids have. And so I worked really hard on getting my photos off of my phone onto a physical backup and a digital backup, and taking some time to kind of go through. But now I have a good habit of just at the end of the month taking all my videos, putting them in where they need to go. That way it is done, and I am almost done with this goal. But I literally have been going through years of iPhone videos, putting them together and then exporting them to a place where they can live on forever, hopefully, for my family. Okay, now let's talk about the summer quintile, because honestly, that's I think where it fell off the tracks a little bit, but not entirely, because we are flexible, we grow, we adapt. Not only was it summer, like lack of routine from school year, but also we just had a lot of family things come up that were unexpected and hard in some ways, and so our goals just did not take priority. We were being with family a lot, and I think something that I learned from my husband is just how to embrace those times where, like, if life hands you something, you can either choose to be mad about it or you can make the best of that and enjoy it. So for example, we had to be out of town to visit some family multiple times, but on one occasion especially, we all were out of town together and just dealing with some harder things, but we also took a day to make a trip out of it, which was really fun. I think I mentioned in my January video, I wanted to take a train trip with my oldest, and we had some places in Kansas City that we wanted to visit. And I very much was like, this is the year that's going to happen. And I had this list of things we were going to do, some museums we wanted to go to. They have a great science center I really wanted to take him to. And it just felt like that trip was not going to happen. And then we ended up having to be in Kansas City. And my husband said, well, that's great. We're already here. We booked a hotel, which is just the most fun you can have if you are 4 or 8. And we ended up getting to go to the Science Museum, which was so much fun. We also they have this really neat streetcar that goes up and down one of the main roads. And it was just the most fun day. Even during some really challenging things, I think it was just really fun to see how your goals and your priorities can fit into whatever life has, because life is just going to keep happening. So we didn't get to take our big family vacation, but we did have a lot of really good family family moments, even traveling together, that I think all of us will treasure for a long time. One of the household goals I got done was to put curtains in our bedroom, and that came about because my husband had to unexpectedly work some overnight shifts, and so we needed some blackout curtains in our room. That life pressure really got me to think, okay, this is something that was already on my goals list. I probably would have kept putting it off, but because it needs to happen, I picked out the curtains, hung up the curtain rods, and now when I'm in our bedroom, it makes such a big difference to have those curtains. It just makes it feel cozy and at home, and also helps my husband to sleep when he does have to work those odd hours sometimes. Financially, this summer, we also have been fully funding our vaults every month. From January until August, we have been putting money back for those big expenses. So major things are like taxes, but also things like gifts, Christmas, car maintenance, those things that are just kind of annoying when they come up. Having a vault where you just are every month putting money back, that's been a game changer for our family, to not have those expected yet unexpected things cause a lot of like scrambling or panic. It's just as like, oh yeah, we need to go, like the cars are due for an oil change, we have the money in the vault to go do that. Or, oh, we got invited to this birthday party, we have the money all ready to go do that. It's not pulling from somewhere else, it just is already there. I actually even upped our vaults and added a couple more so that we can just keep benefiting from that. That was a huge win because that hasn't always happened every year where we've been able to commit to doing that and follow through on it. It's really easy for that money to just be spent on other things, but we really prioritized that this year and have reaped the benefits of prioritizing that cushion for us. That was the first financial win, other than being debt-free in January, funding our vaults every year, and then we've also been working really hard to maintain and grow our emergency fund. It's not quite where we want it yet, because we have had to use a little bit of it, but it is steadily like growing. There's progress there that again is very helpful in those times when you need it, and it's kept us from going back into debt. So grateful for that. Now let's talk about some career goals. This is really exciting for me because I just started bookkeeping at the end of 2025. I started off with 3 clients, and if you're new here, I don't fully bookkeep on my own. I work under a boss. She communicates with the clients, and I basically assist her in the bookkeeping accounting cycle. I am just so grateful that I have a boss that really, she wants to coach and develop. She's just really encouraging, and I always feel like I want to give her my best. Started out with 3 clients at the end of last year, and just this summer she has given me another one, so I'm up to 4 clients. My goal was to be at 6 by the end of this year, so I don't know if that will actually happen or not. It's only up to me, but I'm doing my best to show her that I can take on more, especially now that my oldest is in school and my youngest is 4. Like, I have some capacity to do more. At the same time, I'm also taking a course so that I can take on my own clients, kind of have my own business in bookkeeping eventually. I don't know if I'm quite ready for that yet, but my husband's very encouraging, my boss is very encouraging that that is definitely something that I can be doing. So I'm taking some courses so that I can learn more about how to take on my own clients one day. And then I don't know if this really counts as a career or not, but I started this channel in January of 2025, and I truly love creating content. I love being part of the long form YouTube community, and I just reached 500 subscribers just within the last week. I kind of knew it was coming. Like, you can see the trends and like, okay, I think I'm getting close. And then I hit that last week, and I just am thrilled, honestly. If you are here and you watched this long, just thank you so much for being here and being a part of this community. That was a huge win. It was something that, you know, it kind of feels scary to say out loud at the beginning of the year, especially when I only had maybe 100 subscribers at that time. 500 felt like such an insurmountable number, but to reach that feels just really good, honestly, and I am really just grateful to be here. And if you've watched this far and you're not already subscribed, I would be so honored if you would subscribe and follow along. Looking forward to the rest of 2026. We have 2 quintiles left to go. We are currently in the fall quintile, start of school until Halloween, October 31st. And I think the biggest thing we want to get done, my dream was to have our half bath redone. It's just as kind of, we call it the emergency bathroom because it's just not a very pleasant place to be. It's like the one place in our house that we haven't really touched since we moved in 5 years ago. And it's fine, it does the job, but it's not, again, like, it's not a very pleasant, cute place to be. So I'd love to get that redone with some wallpaper, some new lighting, a new mirror, you know, curtains, make it look nice. But I think that's going to get pushed back to next year because I think we have to prioritize our back deck. It needs new deck boards, which it's like those boring things when you're a homeowner that are like, oh, this is so not fun, but we need a safe place to be outside. We enjoy our back deck. We're out there almost every day. We need to get that done this year. So I think that will probably take precedence over the cute half bath that's still very functional. That is on our fall to-do list. We're gonna need to employ some family help. I think my husband's dad is gonna come sometime this fall when the weather cools off a little bit and get that done, hopefully in a day or two. And then a lot of them will just be these ongoing things. I really want to get back into my consistent workout routine. I know that I can do it. I know that I feel good when I'm doing it, and I kind of have that back to school energy, back to school rhythm to our life that pushed me even last week to just get back into it again. It can feel really defeating when you haven't been doing something for a while to start again. Kind of attaching that to a new rhythm was really helpful. And no surprise, I feel a lot better when I'm just moving my body, strengthening my body consistently. So I know that I will be able to keep that up for this last half of the year. And I'm not gonna let myself believe the lie that because I haven't been doing it the last 3 months that I just should not start. It's a good time to start right now. And I think that's gonna do it. I think that really is just the main goal right there. Again, a lot of these are ongoing things that we do every month that I just want to build a habit. The things like filling our vaults for savings, working out regularly, those are just things that I want to continually be doing, not necessarily a project that needs to be accomplished that will have an end date. These are just gonna keep on going, hopefully. So if you have any 2026 goals that you are needing to get back on track with, or are just you're feeling very accomplished in, I want to know about them. Leave them in the comments. I love talking about goals and just ways we can prioritize what we want to prioritize in our life, even if there are unknowns or things that we don't plan for. That is going to do it for today. So I will see you next time. Bye, friends.